Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Right, so we have information about Alliance Quest Season 11 and it effectively is Alliance Quest 2.0 because a lot of things will change about the way we access Alliance Quest and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of information in this post and I will not be breaking it down fully. I'll be focusing on parts of it. And this isn't also going to be a full-on guide and explanation type video. What I do plan on doing is I'm going to ask an officer of mine to record how he sets it up and provide me with some explanation, and then I'll try and post a video explaining the AQ setup phase and so on and so forth and exactly how it works once I actually get like a full understanding of it myself. Number one, because I'm not in Alliance leadership, I don't even know how it exactly works currently, and number two, it would just be a higher quality, more useful video to make. Right, so let's go. With the release of 41.3, you will be seeing substantial changes to Alliance Quest. That is the November update. Map costs have been removed from map 7 and 8. And this thing, in my opinion, is being kind of disingenuous unless there is an error in their promotional materials. So it's one of the two things. Either Kabam is deliberately kind of like keeping quiet the fact that the raids will cost Alliance tickets, which is a super important information, or the raids will not cost Alliance tickets and they had an error in the promotional material. I don't know which one's more likely, but yeah, map 7 and 8, costs have been removed. But if you're thinking, that you never need to buy any more Alliance tickets, that might not be true. And also, I have heard quite a lot of negative feedback from people who sold their excess Alliance tickets thinking that they're not going to be a thing anymore, because it looks like they will be. Again, unless Kabam has error in their promotional material. So I'm not going to harp on this too much. Just, be aware of it. That even though Kabam says that map 7 and 8 are going to be free, which they will be, which is a good change, it is not the entire story of the Alliance tickets. They still might be a relevant currency that you may or may not want to keep acquiring at a steady pace because of Alliance raids, based on whether your Alliance will or will not take part in them. So all I'm saying is don't throw your Alliance tickets in the bin or necessarily stop acquiring them. Changes to the event structure. We are changing AQ from 5 days on, 3 days off, instead of being a strict 7-day circle running from Monday to Sunday. And we're going to be playing 4 days out of those 7. The leadership can pick which days each battle group does them. So, for instance, you can make all weekends free for stuff like that. And this is amazing. The only kind of slight downside to this not being the ideal setup is the fact that Alliance War is still going to be going on in the background, but, it's not Alliance Quest update. If you could do similar things with Alliance War, which I get it is pretty much impossible, that would make MCOC competitive Alliance play much easier to handle. But this is still a great improvement and step in the right direction. We will no longer reflect daylight savings time. Fine, I think half the world wants to get rid of it anyways. Once set enlistments will be saved and will no longer have the setup each following week. However, when modifiers change, officers will need to make the adjustments. You can skip days or run them consecutively. You can't enlist for the day once it's started. And this is going to be how the landing page looks like. This is what you will be able to access. The enlistment panel, the AQ calendar screen, the top rewards, the BG assignments, the glory store, the leaderboard that will be visible permanently, which is, a long overdue change. This is one of the small things in the game that really frustrated me. You could never really check back to it afterwards properly. And how to play and info screens and all that stuff. So again, this is how it's going to look like when you set it up. From the promotional material about Alliance raids, we could see that entire week effectively can be replaced with one Alliance raid as well. Calendar screen will allow leader to choose which days, we know that. And this is more or less how the setup looks like. You see the total rewards, you pick your modifiers. Again, I will ask an officer of mine to record this to just upload it as a bit of a guide. And here we go. We're going to leave that there, but here we go. Modifiers are getting changed as well. So we're going to have eternal modifiers, map 8. There are going to be some of them that get cut, and there are going to be new ones that we can choose from. Some of them do sound quite gnarly for the higher maps, for like map 8. Opponent periodically going unblockable. This one I think is perfectly fine. This one sounds very annoying. When the defender is knocked down, they gain an auto-block charge for 10 seconds. If the defender is struck while the charge is active, it's consumed and the defender gains 100% auto-block. This, I'm not sure whether it works with parry or not. Because I think in Incursions, when it was on the dead pool, gold pool things, it did end up parrying me. While the defender finishes a special attack, they gain a debuff immunity. This one's also kind of annoying, especially with some of the parts that I do, because you have to have 3 debuffs on them in order to be able to do damage. So, this will make that part definitely more rough. So, overall, I think we will be able to deal with them. I'm not entirely sure what the exact selection is going to be. Obviously, some of them are much, much, much harder and trickier than others. I do think this debuff immunity one could be a problem. But we'll see. Right. The Dawn of Protection has been removed, which is good. I hated that protection node in the modifiers, but here we go. Reward updates, general reward updates. And they're not great. I'm going to be honest. The AQ reward updates, this feels like an update that should have been done 7 months ago in terms of like rewards for AQ to kind of match up there. I might be a bit too critical on it, but I don't think I am, because Kabam themselves kind of preface that this isn't everything. We're going to be updating Glory Store soon. There's going to be some other stuff coming. But let's just get to it. Map rewards are no longer shared between the alliances, members, or ball groups. You will only get map rewards for the maps you play. Glory, milestone, honor rewards have been adjusted so that alliances get approximately the same rewards for 4 days of play per cycle as they did for 5 days in recent cycles, because the points awarded per map doesn't scale consistently. Lining up the tuning so the rewards were exactly the same was not possible. We believe with the new tuning, alliances that play map 5 or above all will get slightly better rewards, while those playing map 4 or below will get the same or slightly worse rewards. We will be monitoring this and tuning. This one's I guess, fair enough. To accommodate the loss of rewards that members could be losing, we have tripled the yields for map-based rewards from what they were previously. If Alliance runs all the same days with 3 battle groups, your rewards will be the same. Alliances that run fewer battle groups will net more rewards than previously, as in the members who play those Alliance Quest battle groups. There have been modest rewards updates to honor rewards, rank rewards, and glory milestones. This is the first of 3 rewards updates to AQ we are planning. A glory store update and much larger reward update will launch alongside raids early next year, including the addition of completely new AQ rewards vector. So I have no idea exactly where they're going with this specifically. Is it like new identity for AQ or new way how to earn AQ rewards? Or some additional sets of rewards. But Glory Store update and much larger rewards update will launch alongside raids. So it makes me believe that raids will likely have some shared rewards with Alliance Quest. So we have the peak milestones, obviously awarding up to 5k glory based on how many points you earned. So 4.9 of 5k. And now we have the rank rewards that we can take a look at. The top alliance will effectively get 30% tier 6 CC every single week, and then top 10 alliance gets 25%. It's just distributed in between less selectors and more crystals. Top 90 gets 10%, and top 45 gets 15% a week. It's not great, realistically. Not awful, but it's not great. Let's be real here. If you are in top 45 alliance, getting 60% tier 6 CC over the course of a month. I saw them and I thought, this would have been cool rewards update again, 6-7 months ago. It's just not great, let's be real. Honor rewards are getting somewhat better though, because that is going to be additional 10% tier 6 CC and some tier 6 basic. Because at the moment, honor rewards were crap. It was just like the tier 5, 25% tier 5 CC selector, which is effectively meaningless. So at least there's something somewhat relevant here. But again, you know, none of these things really make you go, that's great, is my point. I really don't want to be the guy who's like, oh, everything's crap, everything's shit, but this isn't great. It just isn't. So, I guess you're gonna have to wait till raids come and Glory Store gets updated. But, yeah. Wish this was better. And then we obviously have the boss updates. So we can see that we're going to take a look at map 7 bosses, which is going to be Titania and Magneto and Ghost Rider. We're going to have Sandman, Mr. Sinister, and Ghost Rider in map 6. Map 5 bosses will be Sentinel, Emma Frost, and Ghost Rider. Obviously, I think map 8 bosses are the ones that, we're going to pay most attention to. And for most part, they kind of seem strangely doable, easier than the current ones, as much as I read through them. So the mini boss is going to be Danny Moonstar with power buildup, which means that there's going to be a designated Ronan Cheeser probably or something to it. Because when the defender reaches 2 bars of power, they gain an infinite prowess buff every 2 seconds. That's a buff. So all-time blocks from the attacker start 9-second timer, so don't parry her. Okay, cool. Don't parry her a lot anyways. While the defender has prowess buff, knocking them down with a heavy attack will remove 1 prowess buff. And you can get that prowess buff, so, if you want to run and lock her, just don't drop your heavies. Faltering Mind, falter effect inflicted by this defender lasts for 1 additional second. Absolutely meaningless if you don't get faltered. So, judging by the nodes, again, just one member brings in Ronan and you're good to go. You're going to be designated mini boost clearer. Give that guy some easier paths, or, we have a backup for 2 of the sections. And single guy can just infinitely stun that Danny Moonstar. By the looks of it, anyways. So, let's go with the final boss. Ghost Rider with heavy assault and armored assault and return policy in Mixmaster. This one I think is also very, very straightforward. You parry heavy the guy with virtually any champion. And, just sit out the armor buff unless you have a champion that, can get rid of it immediately. So parry heavy, dance around for like 8 seconds whilst he has that armor buff, and then just keep on parry heavying. So this boss seems very straightforward and easier than the current ones. And the Sorcerer Supreme. The defender begins each fight with a permanent rune of Ragador. Okay, cool. The defender gains armor rating from the start of the fight. Once the defender nullifies 4 buffs, they gain a power gain buff, granting 100% of max power over 10 seconds. Healing and regen abilities recover 200% more health. Improved power gain increases. Okay, Lionheart. This also seems, relatively straightforward. Nothing too crazy to it, in my opinion. Just bring in like a science champion that deals, with the power gain. You should be fine. So, relatively straightforward. As it portrays to the difficulty or changes the modifiers, I'm definitely not worried. Somewhat disappointed with the rewards buff, I'll be honest here. And the biggest point of worry, the honest to God, standard MCOC experience, biggest point of worry is God knows how many bugs this is going to have. Like, I'd be willing to bet everything I have in my bank account right now that this isn't going to come to the game smoothly, because nothing has in like last 3 or 4 years. I don't think we have had a major Alliance War redesign arrive without bugs or Alliance War seasons getting delayed. Battlegrounds, virtually every season starts off with a bug and stuff like that. So it's kind of sad, but it's a realistic point. It's gonna be bugged shit. It's gonna be. I don't see a world where this launches smoothly. Question is, how bugged it is going to be and how long will Kabam take to fix it? Let me know what you guys think. Maybe we can start a little bet going or something. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about changes to Alliance Quest. I'm gonna catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about